pursuing your dreams, what's the difference between the people who act on it versus the people who don't? All right. On one hand, all right, well, not on one hand. Everybody has something that they want to accomplish. Long-term goals, they like a ultimate, this is what I want out of life. This is something that I want to get to, aspire to be, aspire to accomplish, right? Everyone has their individual, like, it's very person dependent, whether it's financial or like based off your character, based off like certain achievements that you want to get. There's, everyone has that kind of in their head of what they ultimately want, or most people, I should say. Why do some people, actually work towards getting there and some people don't? I don't think it's a difference of, I think it's a couple things. Partly a difference of desire, like level of desire. Some people are okay with not really ever getting there and they just want to be comfortable. Some people, it's like they can't even, they can't think about anything else. There's just a difference in level of desire to reach that outcome. But I think, also partly it's, some people have it easier. It's some people it's easier to work towards attaining that goal than others. And I've certainly had, I've gotten lucky a couple times and I've had a lot of, like, I'm very privileged to be in the position I'm in. But the biggest like, what the point of this, I think anyone can turn it on. Anyone can flip that switch and just decide, hey, I'm not okay with not achieving this. And, I think you kind of have to decide as an individual, are you someone who's okay with, where are you okay with getting to? Are you okay with getting 50%, 80% of the way towards your ultimate long-term goal as a young person? Or are you someone who's going to just be sick to your stomach and just deeply unhappy if you don't get 100% of the way there and further? It's a personal decision, and the level of like sacrifice that you're going to have to make to get there is ultimately dependent on, I guess the level of sacrifice you will make is dependent on how badly you want to get there, and how far you will get is fully dependent on your decisions. And if you, just decide, hey, I need this, like I can't have it any other way, you flip that switch and you make the decisions to get, further and further up. And even if ultimately you don't end up all the way at the top, you still end up a hell of a lot further because you made that decision to take all the steps you need to get there. And your life is going to look a lot closer to what you ultimately want it to than if you hadn't like truly gone all out and tried as hard as you possibly could. That's all there is to it. It is fully within your control how much effort, how much time, and how much, passion you put into, going after these things. And you're capable of it. And, what's the alternative? The alternative is just not ever trying. It is, you don't want to just stay down here. Or if you do, that's fine, but you just have to acknowledge that that's what you're okay with. If you're not okay with that, it is within your power to change that. I'm making these videos for like 10 people right now, but I feel more passionate about these videos than I have about like pretty much any of the TikToks I've made. I am more fired up about talking about, this stuff and really like going more in depth here, and I'm having a hard time sticking to the daily grind. I keep recording it right before I go to bed, and I have all day to do it and I just don't. But I think part of that is just I'm not being proactive about it, but it's non-negotiable for me that I have to get this out. I I'm going to get less sleep tonight because I'm posting this YouTube video, but I told myself that I was going to post every single day. And I'm not willing to let that slip. I'm not willing to let that go one day without posting a video. Even if I post a 5-minute video, 7-minute video, that's not that good and 10 people are going to watch. I think this will get me closer to where I ultimately want to be. And I'm not willing to let it slip for one day. Because if I let it slip for one day, maybe, a couple days from now, I'm a little bit tired. I don't want to, record a video, so I don't do it that day. And then that's 2 videos that I missed. You know what I mean? I am unwilling to not do as much as I possibly can to get to where I ultimately want to be. And I think that, oh man, I totally had like a topic picked out for today, like 10 minutes ago, and I haven't talked about it once. The little segue here. What I wanted to talk about was just prioritization of your goals. It is very easy, especially like I struggle especially with getting distracted by new ideas, and just from I want to say December of last year to now July, I've tried 4 or 5 different businesses, and none of them have really panned out. And I think this one that I have launching is the one that I'm most passionate about, the one I'm most excited about, and also the one that I think is going to be the most successful. I think it has the most potential for growth. And the problem was I would get really excited about a new idea I had. I would, do it. I would build it out and get like 80% of the way to a final product, to a like finished, or I would have a product, but I wouldn't do all the marketing for it. I would just think of another idea by the time that was all done, all the setup for that was done, all the like back end build out for that was done. And I'd go, oh, this is a great idea. This will make me money. So I would build a new thing out, 80% of the way, the build out the full back end, but then never really like push the business model. And the problem is I get so excited about, like, I want to do all these things. I want to give all of these, projects and endeavors the time of day, but you only have so much time in every day, and you only have so much mental capacity and mental energy that you can give to each thing, and only so many tasks you can get done every day. And for me, my priority is my job, my personal endeavors, my job, like my physical fitness, personal endeavors, sleeping. I'm kind of getting off track here, but I also took a melatonin like an hour and a half ago. The point I'm trying to make is that I can only allocate so much of my mental capacity to each project. And rather than building one thing out fully and then moving on to the next, I was building it out but like not enough that it would sustain itself on its own. And that's the problem, because I do eventually, like over time, want to try all of these endeavors and see if I can make them work, because the idea is there, and I think there's like proof of concept. I think it can work given enough energy and time put into it. But it's like you really got to pick and choose your battles and decide what is going to be the highest ROI use of your time. And that's something that I deal with a lot right now, is like at work, what is the highest leverage task that I can do? In my personal endeavors, what are the highest leverage tasks that I can do? What are the highest leverage business models that I can pursue? And the one that I'm pursuing now, the telehealth company, I think that is the one that has the highest leverage for me. And I think I can do the most with that. In this like avenue, I think I can, and I'm the most passionate about it too, out of any of the ones that I've done, previously in the last 8 months. And oh man, I'm really rambling today. Melatonin before the recording session is not a good idea, but again, there's like these non-negotiables. Every single day I have, or I guess 5 days a week, I train. I meal prep every day. I meal prep every single one of my meals. And I try, those are my non-negotiables. I work my regular job. I do all my meal prep and my training. And I then, after that, I try to do some work on my personal, businesses. There's not a whole lot of, and, I also try to like maintain my personal relationships with my family, with my girlfriend. It is like, there's only so much time to do stuff. And so the level of sacrifice where it's like, okay, these, are the things I'm prioritizing: close personal relationships, my work, my business, and my physical health. There is no room for anything else. And, like I've had no social life or very little social life for the past few years. I don't really do anything besides work, go to the gym, and talk to a few select people. And I'm perfectly okay with that because I'm not okay with this ceiling. I'm not okay with staying down here. I'm not okay with just having these dreams in my head that never get actualized, that never, I would need to, and like I want to fully like realize all of the ideas that I have. I want to fully, I want to like live up to my potential. And it would drive me insane if I wasn't at least attempting to do that every single day. And stagnation, and like it makes me so uncomfortable, and I can't really relax because of that. But again, what's the alternative? I don't want to be okay with relaxing if it means that I'm going to take my foot off the gas and not get to where I ultimately want to get. I would much rather be uncomfortable, taking time off, uncomfortable, okay with not having much of a social life, okay with working 6-7 days a week. Because I'm going to get here. There's no alternative for me. I am not willing to. And that is something that you can decide for yourself. That's what I'm trying to get across. If you decide that you are not willing to accept less than this, then it is fully within your control to make those sacrifices, make those decisions that will get you there, or at least get you further than you would be. And it is up to you to decide what it's worth to you and, how much you're willing to put into it. Because that's it. At the end of the day, I'm willing to put everything into this. And I'm making damn sure that I get there at the end of the day. So that's all I have for you guys today. I know this one was all over the place. Might have lost the plot for a little bit, not watching the video back, just uploading it, no editing. I do appreciate you guys who were watching, all 13 of you today, perhaps. I think if I post it on my Instagram story, I'll get like 100 views. But, that feels like cheating now. No, I'm just kidding. I'll probably post it on it. Regardless, I appreciate you guys very much, especially the ones who are watching it all the way through. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.